What makes a football debut unforgettable? Is it the goals, the atmosphere, or the sheer anticipation of seeing a record signing finally step onto the pitch? Alexander Isak's Liverpool debut at Anfield wasn't about goals, it was about presence. And what unfolded in those 57 minutes was nothing short of box office drama. But before we dive into every twist, turn, and spark of magic from Isak's first outing in red, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with your fellow football fans, and drop a comment below. Trust me, you won't want to miss the ride Football Parrot has lined up for you. Now, let's set the scene. 4 months without competitive football, one record-breaking transfer fee, endless online debates about whether he was worth the price. And finally, on a night under the Anfield lights, Alexander Isak walked out wearing the iconic red shirt, the number 9 on his back, and the hopes of Liverpool fans heavy on his shoulders. But here's the twist. The debut didn't start with fireworks, it started with silence. 9 minutes into the game, Liverpool were already 2 goals ahead, and Isak still hadn't touched the ball. The camera kept cutting to him, standing tall, running into space, but never quite getting involved. For a moment, it was almost comical. You could imagine the headlines: Liverpool win everything this season. And Isak never actually touches the ball. Then, finally the wait ended. His very first touch as a Liverpool player? A wayward pass. Not exactly what you dream about on your debut. But football has a way of flipping the script in an instant. His second touch was different. Silky, confident, pure striker's instinct. A glide past Conor Gallagher, the kind of movement that makes defenders nervous, and fans lean forward in their seats. And that's when we saw glimpses of the real Alexander Isak. The gangly yet graceful stride, the calm confidence in possession. The way he positions himself like gravity itself bends towards him. Egg yolk boots flashing, white ankle wraps snug, and that iconic red shirt. He looked every bit the player Liverpool fans had been waiting for. But how good is he really? That's the big question. Isak is in the middle of his career bloom, past the raw talent stage, but not yet at his ceiling. Critics have raised eyebrows at his transfer fee, pointing out that he's only had 2 standout goal-scoring seasons. But modern strikers aren't just judged on goals anymore. You need to press, link play, create space, run relentlessly, and still be ready to finish when the moment comes. Isak, at least in flashes, showed he can do it all. His best spell came before half-time. In the 38th minute, he took a pass from Florian Wirtz, half-turned, and snapped a shot without backlift. It didn't go in, but that's the kind of striker's instinct Liverpool have been craving. Seconds later, he tried again from almost the same spot. Progress, confidence, signs of a forward who will only get sharper as the games roll on. Then came the chemistry experiment everyone was waiting for. How would Isak link up with Liverpool stars? The early answer, promising. A give and go with Wirtz here, a clever touch into space there, and most importantly, he seemed to bring out the best in Mohamed Salah. And that, for Liverpool fans, is priceless. Salah, who some feared had dropped off in recent months, looked reborn. His opening goal was vintage Mo, dancing between defenders, cutting in with pace and precision, finishing with that lethal left foot. And you could sense Isak's presence played a role, not by outshining Salah, but by pulling defenders away, creating pockets of space, and forcing Atletico Madrid to divide their attention. But let's not sugarcoat it. There were flaws too. Arne Slot's Liverpool are thrillingly attacking, but that openness comes at a cost. Atletico Madrid found joy exploiting the spaces left in midfield, especially whenever Wirtz pushed forward as a number 10. With Diego Simeone prowling the touchline in his black suit, radiating pure intensity, Atletico clawed their way back to 2-2. Still, football loves drama, and on this night, it was Virgil van Dijk who provided the final act, heading home late to seal a 3-2 win for Liverpool. Relief washed over Anfield, but the bigger story remained. Alexander Isak had arrived. So what's the verdict? Isak didn't score. He didn't dominate the headlines with a hat trick. But in his 57 minutes, he showed enough to intrigue, enough to excite, and enough to convince fans that he could become the centerpiece of this Liverpool side. He is a striker who moves differently, thinks differently, and promises a future full of goals, chaos, and unforgettable football. And make no mistake, this was just the beginning. That's all for today's deep dive into Alexander Isak's Liverpool debut. What did you think of his performance? Was it a sign of greatness to come? Or are the critics right to be cautious? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. And don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Your support helps Football Parrot keep delivering the best football stories with passion and flair. Join me again for the next video, because this is just the start of a thrilling season. Until then, keep your eyes on the pitch, because the beautiful game never sleeps.